Even a child could understand the virtue of my task, and I have been more than patient. You are persistent, but blind. I seek to restore order to this world, yet you insist on hunting me down. You have interfered enough. Only the short-sighted could view me as a monster. Put aside your wounded pride for a moment and look at the bigger picture. My purpose is noble. My actions are just. You may think me a villain, but history will remember me as a hero. Everything I have done has been necessary for the greater good. In your heart, you understand this. You seek to stall me, but your own choices have revealed your true feelings. You watched my Dryads gather the energy I needed, and you did nothing. You allowed yourself to be distracted by the elves' melodrama. You wasted your time rescuing my dwarves. Now, because you were unable to see the big picture, I will become Zeramoth Reborn. And you, the people of this world, even your precious elves, are short-sighted and selfish. They cannot see beyond their own arrogance, and would never accept the Cimbri as the rightful rulers of Arana. The long-term stability of the realm is worth a few sacrifices in the present. Soon, with the power my Dryads have gathered in this place, and the sword in my hand, I will fuse Zeramoth's soul to mine. We will become one, and his power will become mine. You could have stood beside me and claimed a title within my new world. But instead, your name will be lost to history. I did what was necessary to prevent interference. The second cataclysm weakened the prison in which the familiars were sealed. It was a simple thing to release them. Their hatred of the elves made them the perfect allies. Soon, with the power my Dryads have gathered in this place, and the sword in my hand, the Dryads have gained much more than they lost. I needed their connection with magic to gather Arana's power here. But in return, I gave them dignity and respect. They will always have a place of honor in my world. And now they have the tools to truly flourish. The Dryads were born from the blood of Zeramoth, and they will be my chosen people. Why do you think they flock to me so gladly? They have embraced their noble heritage, and will make fitting servants for Zeramoth Reborn. The myth of Zeramoth Reborn is a lie propagated by the elves because they are afraid of the truth. Open your eyes. Most of Arana's myths and legends are as real as you and I. Zeramoth's sword contains the souls of an entire race, the Utgards, as well as the soul of Zeramoth himself. The true story has been hidden from you, child of the elves. It was us, the Simbri, who taught Zeramoth how to forge his weapon. It was our work, our cunning, our blood that gave him immortality. And in return, he bequeathed Arana to us for all eternity. Azunai and his wretched shield ruined it all when he caused the first cataclysm. All but a handful of the Simbri and Arana died. Our city, this city, was buried. The gateway to our homeland closed. But worse, Arana's magic was distributed across the land, making it impossible to concentrate the amount needed to right what had happened. But no longer. With Zeramoth's powers, I will undo the wrongs we have suffered. The Simbri will regain our rightful place, and I will be redeemed! Very well. It seems there's no further way to delay you. The ritual is almost complete. The hour of your death is at hand. You are too late! Again, you underestimate my power. My destiny is complete! Behold! Zeramoth reborn! impossible! I am Shiramoth! I cannot fail! Not again!
What happened? Is he dead? Where are my sisters? I don't know what... I will know how to thank you one day. But now, all I feel is pain and loss. The cataclysm left us completely destroyed. When the great leader appeared, we found hope. But now again we are lost. Where will we go? What do we do now? I will try. Will you help?
Amren returned to Ebb with Yoren and helped organize the Mining Guild's rescue expedition. He spent the rest of his life there, living amongst the dwarves. While he never regained his visions, he eventually came to terms with his loss. Daru returned to the Dryad outpost and took Celia's place as the new warden. She found herself missing the lifestyle of an adventurer. A few years later, she led a small group of fanatic followers to the northern reaches to begin a new life as captain of Queen Eva's elite rangers. Eva returned to the northern reaches to begin the process of rebuilding her kingdom and was crowned queen a few years later. Despite her advisor's objections, she continued to personally lead her army for many years. Finala went back to Omenlu and became the leader her people desperately needed. Under her influence, Danadel became a respected warrior as well, and together they reclaimed the elves' territory in the Vylutra and Vykesh forests. Lothar wandered Arana aimlessly for a number of years, traveling from town to town and helping people rebuild their homes. Eventually, he discovered the way to the Agallan peaks. He spent the rest of his life studying with the Agallans. Ressa delved into the world of the Spider Watchers Guild, eventually becoming one of the most infamous assassins in history, and every corrupt or unjust noble feared her name. Sartan returned to the Dryad outpost and offered to help the Dryads cope with their loss. Surprisingly, they readily accepted his help, but only when it came to drudgery. As hopeful as ever, Sartan found himself promising to do much more than he bargained for. Tar remained with the Glory Deep Dwarves for a few years, using her compassion to help them rebuild their lives. In her later years, she became a highly respected nature mage and scholar and served as an advisor to Queen Eva. Vix became known far and wide for his amazing feats of combat. However, with all the shocks of his life, his mind never really recovered. He was last seen wildly running into a massive pack of Klasks, shouting Zeria's name at the top of his lungs. Yoren returned to Ebb with Amren to inform the Mining Guild of the fate of the Glory Deep miners. He enjoyed a long career as a highly respected judge and became widely known for his wisdom and fairness. History will remember them as the heroes of the Third Age. There is hope in the land of Arana, and the future is bright.
Any luck on finding the ingredient? Very good. Interesting. Yes, I see what you are getting at. I imagine it would sound like the very essence of loneliness these days. Let me examine this last item. Ah! It burns. Indeed, that is a fitting memento of the past. These will do nicely. Now that you've brought me all of the components, I can begin the ritual. You may want to stand back. I'm not sure how Nymphara will react to being summoned after so long. Lady Nymphara, hear me please. My sister Arisu has been murdered, and her killer is unknown. Will you help in the name of justice?
Strange. I was drifting through an endless gray fog. Then suddenly, I arrived here. Sister Nari, what's happened to you? You're surrounded by light. I can barely see you.
Lady Nymphara has brought your spirit back from the dead. I was afraid she would turn on us, but amazingly she granted my wish. I had to risk summoning her to learn how you were murdered.
You should not have taken such a risk, my sister. It was my suspicious nature that led to my death. I couldn't place my trust in the Great Leader as blindly as the rest of you.
What do you mean?
Whenever he returned from one of his secret meetings, he was so exhausted. I was worried, so one night I followed him. He went into the desert, straight towards a Morden camp. Just before he reached the camp, he transformed into a dark wizard. He turned and looked straight at the bushes where I was hiding, then walked away. He came for me later that night. I wondered why you reacted so calmly to my story. I suppose Celia flew into one of her rages when you tried to tell her. I see. Perhaps I will meet her in the afterlife. Nari, the necklace I treasured so much, I want the mercenary to have it.
As you wish, sister.
Have you found any more samples? I see the half-giants have not been spared either. What an odd assortment of patches sewn into the skin. I wonder what purpose they serve. Have you found a bound dryad head? No. This can't be real. Is this your idea of a nasty joke? Where did you... But I was convinced the dryads had been spared. Clearly that is not the case. We cannot ignore the bound creature threat any longer. Thank you for all of your help. You've opened my eyes to the new plagues spreading across Arana. The dryads won't sit idly while so many are subjected to the familiar's gruesome alterations. I've finally managed to purify the power of the bound creatures, thanks to all of the samples you brought me. These robes will greatly enhance the healing power of the wearer. Please, take them. You have earned them well.